Morning. Joe for the road. If there's any Joes listening, just want to be clear, it's a cup of Joe for the road. Sorry, it's not a cup for Joe. For the road. It's Friday. I am backing over my trash can. That's why they put these safety devices on these newfangled vehicles, to keep me from backing over a trash can. Love you guys. Beep beep. See ya. See ya. So a few things on my mind this morning to think about. It's been kind of a crazy week. I've worked late every night this week. A new project going on that it's actually quite an honor to be selected to work on it. But the plan, it's always good plans, right? The plan was that I would get a replacement to do my regular job, so that I could go work on this project, which is going to take about 18 months or longer. So the project has started and I don't have a replacement yet, so I have two jobs now. So that's all right. We'll get through it. So I got home late last night, and 2 weeks in a row now, same thing happened last week. If there's not a certain time when I'm home and dinner is happening, for me to come in late, which means I'm not helping with dinner, I'm not helping with, getting the kids to the dinner table, helping getting the meal at least finished up, help get things cleaned up, and then whatever needs to occur after that. It's a huge stress on the family. So when I'm running late and I can't help with any of that, then I don't make it to my Thursday night men's meeting. I've done it before, but everything is in a shambles by the end of the evening for the rest of the family. So that's something I put on myself. That if certain things aren't going to happen, if I'm not able to take care of my family in a certain way, then there are things that I don't get to do. Those are called consequences. And one of the things that has become very important to me, because it's an area that I'm not good at, is being consistent in teaching my kids. Trying, which I still am, but trying to not be a hypocrite. Because there are so many areas in my life where my garage is a mess, and I'm yelling at my kids to pick their stuff up. Where do you think they're learning it from, Dad? Now, do you have to be perfect before you teach your kids a good habit? No. We want to teach our kids. We especially want to teach our kids good character traits that we know we don't have. We don't want them to have the struggles later in life that we have, right? But you have to approach those things where you know you have a struggle and you're going to teach them well so that maybe they won't have that same struggle, can't speak. You need to teach those things in a different way, in a graceful way. And I've been trying to work on that. So if you know that one of your kids is a lot like you, won't pick up their toys or won't do their chores before they do their play, right? If you know that they have that, well, you can't come in like a bull at a china shop and just start yelling. You have to set the expectation, but they will put it in your face if you're not meeting that expectation. So if I've found a couple of things help, at least they're things that I'm trying. One of those things is trying to improve yourself, right? You don't necessarily have to be improved before you're going to try to improve them, but you need to be trying, or else you are a hypocrite. So if you're going to work with them on a new habit, you're going to work with them on taking care of your dishes at the table, rinsing off your dishes and putting them in the dishwasher or washing them, whatever your family is doing, however that works, before you go off and play, go off and do whatever it is that you're going to do next. Go off to your men's group, right? I've found at times, because we tried to get that habit into our kids, and I've found at times where I was telling my son or my daughters, you left the table and you didn't take care of your dishes. You left all your stuff sitting right there. You need to rinse off your... And I looked over and there was mine sitting right there next to him. You can't do that. You can't do that. So if it's something you struggle with, own up to it. Man up. Say, all right, son, that's something I struggle with too, trying to remember. So let's make it a game. How can we try to remember? We'll remind each other. If you are working on it and you make it something that you're working on with them, next thing you know, your kid is jumping up to take care of his stuff, trying to beat you so that he can say, Daddy, remember to take care of your... You got to get over your pride. Because even if, if it's a young guy, even if you haven't even gotten up yet, but his is taken care of more than yours, so that he can remind you to do it, even though you were going to do it, just take it. Take it like a man. Say, oh, good job, buddy. You beat me tonight. Wasn't done eating yet, but that's not the important part. The important part is He's got a positive attitude about it, and you've got a positive attitude about it. I am quick to jump negative. And I don't even know I'm doing it. You know, I had a conversation with my wife this morning about some information that she found for a problem that we're trying to solve. And it was that. It was information. It didn't solve our problem, but it was some additional information. And I read it, most of it, and it was good information. But it didn't answer my question. It didn't answer my question, but it gave me some other ideas to try. Ideas that weren't directly direct, you know, it didn't say, hey, you can try this, but it got me thinking down a different path of some other things I hadn't tried, even though it wasn't specifically in there. So this morning she asked me, well, what'd you think of that? And instead of saying, yeah, that was good stuff, it got me thinking along some other lines that we haven't tried yet. Instead, I said, it didn't address our problem. You know, it's not what you say, it's how you say it. And I got frustrated because she got frustrated, so now we're both frustrated. And it's like, you know, well, why are you so negative? I'm not negative, I'm positive, because I've got a good idea of what to do next. Something we can try that won't even cost us any money, right? This is good. But what she heard, and more importantly, what she felt, was you didn't find value in what I shared with you. And she was right. I did. I did find value in what she shared with me, but I didn't express that value to the person that I value. And it's the same with your kids, it's the same with your friends, it's the same with everybody. You know, if someone is sharing something with you, you may have some criticism of it, and it's good to express that criticism in a graceful way if you've got that type of relationship. Sometimes you don't have that relationship. Your criticism is not welcome or invited, right? But in the family, which is what I'm talking about this morning, you know, it's a piece of what you do. But value that person first. Value their feelings. Which I do, but I didn't express that value. Express the value in something that somebody's sharing with you. And then you can talk about the criticism. But, you know, do that in a graceful way. So that was a learning this morning. You know, I hope so. This is one of those things where I will listen to this on my way home tonight, because that is very fresh. That's a raw nerve on my mind this morning. Our wives are like elephants. They have a very good memory. In our house, this is a concept we picked up from a I think it was a marriage conference we went to years ago, or a book that we read, and I can't tell you which one. I can't tell you which one it is, but it goes something like this. When you offend your wife, acknowledge it. Acknowledge it and be, good morning, thank you. Acknowledge it and be, you've got to get to that spot where you're going to get forgiveness and you're going to have grace and you're going to move beyond it, right? So you get to that point. That goes without saying. You got to apologize. You got to be heartfelt. You got to understand, even if you don't think you were wrong, that they were offended, and you have to get beyond that. So man up and acknowledge their feelings. Don't tell them your feelings are wrong, because they're their feelings. It's the way they feel. There may have been a misunderstanding. There may have, all those things may be true, but value them first. And get beyond that. So once you've got beyond that, you need to understand that there's muscle memory there. That while they have forgiven you, forgive and forget, right? We are not Christ. We are not perfect. So as far as the East is from the West, your wife is human. And while she may have said she forgives you, and in all of her heart she does forgive you, there is a human aspect that remembers that hurt, remembers what happened, and when that scenario comes up again, there's a reflex that they're going to expect the same from you. Now the good part of that is, if they don't get the same from you, they're going to be surprised and pleased, right? Because that shows that maybe you're changing, Ladies, if you're listening, this is a two-way street, but I'm primarily talking to my brothers here. This is what I've learned over time. The concept is this, you think about a huge church bell, and you have yanked that rope and rang that bell loud. You have yanked her chain, right? You have offended her, you have hurt her, and you have hit that, the big steel clapper inside of that bell. Bong! Maybe you pulled it a few times, because not only did you do what you did, or with whatever the situation was, but you argued about it for a while too. You really got that thing swinging and rang it a few times, and now you've come back together, and there's forgiveness, there's grace, there's healing, right? The thing you have to remember is that bell, while it's all quieted down now, is still swinging. So you don't have to pull that chain very hard to get that thing to ring again. This is our human nature. And you need to understand that. So the conversation we had this morning, I apologize for. I really tried to understand, and I understand it now that I'm talking about it better than I did then, because I said that. I don't understand what I've done wrong here. I really don't understand what I've done wrong here. But I know that we need to get through that. So I apologize for not understanding her feelings. I apologize for everything that I could. And we left okay, but a little tense. Her bell is still swinging. It's going to swing all day unless I call her, which I probably won't have the opportunity to do today. I may. I'm going to try. But that bell is still swinging. And when I walk in the house, like I said yesterday, I'm going to have a whole day of work today. I'm going to have all of these things going on, and this whole conversation is not going to be on my mind. And that's why I started recording these things. So I'm going to listen to this on the way home, and I'm going to walk in the house. Imagine if I walk in the house, and I walk up and I sweep her off her feet, and I say, you know what? I was thinking about that all day long today. And I came home thinking about that today, that conversation we had this morning, and I understand better now that I didn't value you and your thoughts and feelings. I expressed my value of that article you had me read, and it didn't answer my question. I started reading that article with a specific question, and it didn't answer it. So everything I talked about was talking about that article compared to my specific question. Now, what I missed was taking the opportunity to value the person who gave me that article, and I apologize for that. I missed that, and I'm sorry. And then go on to say some things that you did value about it, because there was good information, and now I've got thoughts of what I can try this weekend to try to solve our problem that weren't in that article, but it got me thinking about it. It led me down a new path that we can maybe solve this issue. Well, how do you think she's going to react to that? So when I walk in the door with that, and I'll have that because I'm going to listen to this on the way home. When I walk in the door with that, her bell may be swinging, but she's not thinking about that. She may have gotten over it, but there's still a little bit of swing left in that bell. If I bring that back up with that much value and regard for her, letting her know, I thought about this all the way to work. I understand it better. I value your feelings more now than I did when I left this morning. What do you think my weekend's going to be like if that's where we start? But if I disregard that and I walk in the house, and she's probably thinking about it right now, but her day is going to do the same thing mine is. She's going to be very busy. She's homeschooling 3 kids. She's getting, she's got a lot of things, responsibilities that she has. So she's going to get over it the hard way, right? And I'm going to go back in and I'm going to try to grab that bell, climbing up on the ladder, and I'm grabbing that bell and just trying to stop swinging. So the next time I do it, and I'll do it again, first off, maybe I'll think about it sooner and catch myself. That's my goal. If not, then maybe she'll say, this is that thing I was talking about. Oh, yeah. And I can, before I yank on that rope really hard and argue with her and yank on it a few more times, maybe I can catch myself. Maybe things can be different. So that's my ramble on my way to work this morning. Again, I don't know if this will be, I know this won't be every day, but if I've got something on my mind, I'll share it. And if I feel that it might help one of you guys, I'll post it. And we'll go from there. It's Friday, so I don't know if I'll have anything this weekend. I do have some music projects that I want to work on. If you like this, and you're a YouTube guy and you like to follow this stuff, click on the subscribe button. I think it's down, I don't know which way it's going to be, down there or down there. It's all backwards. This is like looking in a mirror. There's a little thumbs up button down there. Click on that and let me know if this is valuable to you, even if you don't subscribe. That'll let me know that this is working for you, because it takes a little bit of effort to post it and everything. So click that, or click that if it's like, no, enough, stop it. Let me know. And certainly, if you have any thoughts or comments, you can help me learn as I go. Post some comments down there and let me know. I'd like to get a conversation going, and we'll go from there. All right, be blessed. See ya.